I would like to introduce our first speaker, Joeseph Chee, who is the chairman of one of the first and the most active Solana digital asset treasury companies, the Solana company, to stage. He's going to walk us through, why he's spending all his time building with us into the Solana ecosystem, and also from an allocator perspective, what you have to think about how to allocate, what vehicles exist today, and whether the infrastructure is ready. So let's give a warm welcome to Joeseph Chee. Thank you.
Today is a bit of an accident for me because I'm actually in Switzerland, in Zurich, having a board meeting with my good friend Colin here for the crypto bank that we built in Zug, Switzerland. And Gianni found out about it and he said, you have to come here and talk about Solana company and and Solana. And she gave me this topic. To be honest, I still don't quite understand what it actually means. But it's okay, I put together some content, hopefully sort of in line what you want. I guess, with my age, I'm from TradFi, you could expect that. And to be honest, I thought I'd be running into a room of young people, builders, developers, because looking at invitation, looking at the pictures from the past in House of Soul. But today, I'm very happy that I'm not the oldest person in the room. Because usually when I attend a lot of these crypto conferences, dinners, events, especially in the beginning, because we started investing in crypto in late 2017. It was very early. The fund I'm running is called Summer Capital. I founded that in late 2017. And so at the time, and most of the time, especially in Hong Kong, I walk in the room, there's only one person, which is the chairman and CEO of Chee, who's older than me. I'm usually the oldest person in the room. But you can see that now. The interest is not just coming from the young crowd, right? Everyone from every industry, not only from financial industry, are interested in what's going on blockchain. Before I founded Summer Capital, I was a banker. And I think there are some bankers in the room as well. I was one of those very lucky bankers that was at the right place at the right time. I'm a Malaysian. I live in Hong Kong. For some reason, I was very involved with the Chinese business of UBS. I was there for 17 years. When I retired early 2017, on the wall when people sent me off, I did 486 transactions, 186 IPOs, 65 M&A more than $1 billion. It was that period of time where major transactions happened across China, Southeast Asia, India. I was running the investment banking franchise for UBS across Asia and also the capital markets business. The best thing about my experience there is that I got to witness the many companies across many industries in some of these largest emerging markets going from nothing to rise up and to face a lot of challenges, and some will become glorious and become giants. And a lot of these names you are very familiar with: TikTok, Alibaba, JD.com, Rakuten, many of these names that everyone knows now. Back then, when I first met them, they don't have much. Some of these companies, when I first time met them, the founders are borrowing money from me to pay salaries of their employees. Now they're worth hundreds of billions. Now I think we look at what's going on in 2025. Sitting from my perspective, I think a lot of people have different perspective of what happened last year. That's a very, very important year. It's the turning point. To me, the whole blockchain industry moved from under the table. It was just speculative. It's about the crypto bros and crypto OGs doing their own thing on their own. They don't want to deal with anyone else. And now they become the infrastructure for Wall Street, the infrastructure for financial services. And throughout the whole of last year, the big part of last year, everything was doing well. Until, like everything else in the world, Trump screwed it up for all of us. I guess when I put together Solana company, Sol was trading at 230, 240, 250. Right now it's about 90. And a lot of my good friends come over and said, Joe, are you okay? To be honest, I'm not too worried, because I've been through all these different life cycles or different industries and companies in emerging markets. Volatility is a part of the game. It goes up fast, it comes down hard. I mean, if you look at Hong Kong right now, last year was the hottest market for a biotech company globally. There are more biotech companies going for IPO in Hong Kong, raise more money than ever. It has higher valuation than the US in Boston, all the companies. But 2 years ago, it was rock bottom. Biotech went down 90% from the peak, and it came back from the ashes, right? And I always tell all the builders in the blockchain industry, stay alive, hang in there. Don't blow up. You need to hang in there until you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You're doing something great, right? So I'm not too worried about Solana as an ecosystem. I'm not too worried about Solana company. And to be honest, the downtime is a good thing. From a traditional finance person, I think it's important everyone sort of sit down and say, hey, what should I put my time into? Build something that's sustainable, something that can be in real life, right? I think Mike Novogratz, I keep quoting this, the CEO of Galaxy. He's one of the visionary TradFi people, ex-Goldman partner that built a crypto Goldman Sachs equivalent, right? And in Abu Dhabi last year, he said, guys, it's about time to build some shit that people would use. Shit actually that works, right? It's a bit blunt, but it means something. I think if you look at some of the data I'm going to show you, let me get this click. Can we go back to the first page? Okay. These are real numbers. Okay. I can say with high confidence, we have observed, we have seen, we have witnessed the beginning of mass adoption and institutionalization. Okay. 33 trillion of payment were done on stablecoin last year. And next. And you look at blockchain or Solana as a chain. These were the players in 2008, 2015. How many of you actually recognize these names? Maybe you would know Ethereum, maybe you would know Ripple, maybe now you know Coinbase, Circle, and Kraken. And people who know Silk Road probably don't want to tell people that they know Silk Road. And then you have 2016, which is when I sort of started to join this sector. These names, the founder of this company went to jail. This one blew up, still in jail. And some are doing better than others, right? Galaxy is doing well, right? But now, look at these names. You recognize most of them, right? That's what I'm saying. This is a 3.0 this is when the technology is being adopted, is being used in traditional industries. Very fast, in a big way, very quickly. Next, please. This is just Asia. The volume is over 200 billion every month. Just the payment in Asia. That's what you expected because Asian economies are mostly export-led. They export all sort of goods they manufacture in that part of the world to the rest of the world. And then they will export to a lot of emerging markets. You don't feel it here in the UK. I just came from Switzerland. People don't understand why stablecoin based payment is actually, you know, a necessity. Because I think in mature markets like UK or Switzerland, you know, the banking system, everything is very smooth. But the majority of the world, emerging markets, currency is not stable. You know, payment rails are not really available. Banks are not strong. They're not reliable. And crypto is a way sort of for you to sort of take a leapfrog to something usable, something reliable, something within your control, right? This is going to happen like this. I think it's going to go over 300 billion, 400 billion very quickly. Keep going, next one. I think in Asia, because most of the economy is still emerging. There's a huge population there, and most of the economies are export economy, and a lot of cross-border payments, has a Asian counterparty, right? And it's a bit like in 2003 and 4 when I first moved back to Asia and started to get involved. Started to get involved in the China business, and after spending a year and a half in China, I told all my friends in the US and the rest of the world, pay attention to China. And I'm like, pay attention to Asia, pay attention to Solana. Next. AI is something that everyone talks about. Every conference you go to, you can't not talk about AI. 60 to 80% of conversation revolves around AI. It's a bit too much, but there's a lot of kind of things that AI can do, right? But it's one thing that AI today cannot do. I don't think it can do in the next 5 to 10 years. I don't think your AI agent could go to your Barclays account, HSBC account, Citibank account to open your banking account and move money out. Your banks will not allow it. This is what crypto is good for, the wallets. The agentic payment, agent to agent, agent to individual, agent to corporates, I think it will all start with crypto-based payment first. Keep going. And a lot of people said, okay, what are the use cases for crypto? And why are people investing so heavily, including institutions in the US, especially hedge funds? There's one thing that, some people look at last year and say, oh, well, my God, crypto now underperformed gold. Is that a bad thing? It's actually not a bad thing. If crypto move along with stocks and gold and everything else together over a long term, I think the value actually diminishes. They should actually have, become a diversification. And a lot of funds around the world have started using crypto as a way to diversify the portfolio, right? And a lot of these funds that you probably recognize here. And next, please. And they could diversify buying the crypto itself. They could use the ETF. And there's a lot of different kind of options that's available on all the ETF and ETPs already. DAT is another bridge, which is what Solana company is about. We have a lot of investors. If you look at our stock, it trades very actively, very closely to the prices of Solana. So a lot of major funds are watching the prices of our company closely. They're using that for all the different trading strategy. And RWA, people are asking, why are you tokenizing oil? Why are you tokenizing real estate? Do I really want to buy a real estate through a token? The answer for most people like, nah. But for the investors, they need this for diversification. More and more money will be available in crypto. And a lot of people said, why do you tokenize all these things? There's no liquidity in crypto. Yes, it's true. The total value of crypto industry is only 3 trillion. It's nothing. What's the value of stocks? 125 to 150 trillion. Bonds, 300 trillions. Real estate, 600 trillions. But if you look at what's going on around the world with the major institutions, in the next 2 years, tens of trillions, if not you get to 100 trillions of this asset, will come on chain. Why? Because, exactly what I told you about, a certain percentage of cross-border payments will happen in the form of crypto. And we're talking about, let's say you go from 2%, 5%, 10%, 20%, tens of trillions every year of this payment will come in the form of crypto. When you have 1,300,000, you convert that into fiat and manage it like what you used to. But now if you have 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion of crypto that come back to you every year, are you just going to convert it and pay the FX or on-ramping or off-ramping costs for no reason? No. If you click a button, I can manage this crypto like, at a very low cost, faster, 24/7, higher yield, in a very safe, institutional grade way, you will keep it in crypto, right? That's where your liquidity is going to be coming from. All the major institutions around the world see that. The Japanese, the Korean, the Americans, they all see that. They are getting all their funds, their deposit onto the chain to capture the opportunity. So when I said 2 years from now, you see tens of trillions on the chain, I don't think that's a dream. Next, please. And you look at, this is what I talk about, right? Basically, a lot of names that you're going to see a lot of traditional names who are very forward-looking. They'll get very deep into the crypto side and keep on showing at BlackRock. And then you're going to see a lot of names never heard of. Like Ondo is a big name now. I think everyone knows them. Xstock, now everyone knows them. That came from Europe, right? And then you're going to see a lot of names like Jupiter, Camino, you're not familiar with. But like Jupiter is just a bunch of young kids in Malaysia, right? This company made $500 million of revenue last year with 80% gross margin. Right? You don't see that. It's not, in the real world, they'd be worth a lot of money, right? But I think you're going to see more and more companies you don't recognize becoming big. And so start paying attention to them, whether you're an investor or you are individuals managing your own investments. Next. This is very important. A lot of people don't see this. I sat there, I watched it, I helped a lot of internet companies become where they are today. 2003, if at that time, any one of you to put whatever money you have into some of the internet companies, by today, it'd be at least worth tens of millions. And if you look at a lot of companies, 2003, you bought into the listed ones, the search engines, you'd be up 500 times, 1,000 times from there. And at that time, the internet user is about 10% of the population. Today, it's about the same. That's what I'm saying. This is mass adoption, institutionalization just started, right? Look at Meta. Monthly active user, about 4 billion. Tencent, about 1.4 billion. The market cap, 1.6 trillion, 600 billion. Where's Solana today? 40 million. Market cap is 50 billion. And what's the daily active wallets right now in Solana? 2.2 million. I mean, for like a better trend is it's pathetic. It's very small. The flip side is there's a lot of potential. Once this become a billion, what's the market cap? Once it's become 100 million, what is the market cap? You can see that. It's a software protocol. It's no different for any tech companies. Next, please. So this is the three lenses that Gianni described. This is a takeaway. I guess allocation, because in the past, the way I see it is a bunch of young people doing the fun stuff. Now, there's a bunch of major institutions doing the real stuff. And you have to think about the next wave, next 3 to 5 years, is when this whole industry going from 3 trillion to 30 trillion. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to allocate your time, your efforts, your money? Vehicles, these are different vehicles that are available. If you don't know how to operate a wallet, there are ways to deal with it, including my bank in Switzerland. Infrastructure, I think Solana is bound to be one of the winners. It doesn't have to compete. It competes against all of major L1s. People said, should I choose Ethereum? Should I choose Canton versus Solana? Seriously, if you are Amazon, would you put it on Apple operating system, not Android? We just put it on. Let's see which one's going to run faster, give you more traffic, make more money for you. Just put it on. And with that, it's almost guaranteed. Solana being where it is today, one of the two largest public chains in the world will benefit from the growth of the whole sector. Let me finish here. Well, maybe there's one more thing I want to say. Vitalik, about 2 weeks ago, said we should not cater to the Wall Street firms and the AI because they're making our decentralized world becoming super centralized. That's the wrong direction. I have a different opinion. I think at this stage we're so small. It's a bit like you're dealing with your parents. You want to do something different, but you're still young. Are you financially independent? Are you big enough? Not yet. But we will do what they want to do, grow up, become strong, and then we'll come back to build what we should be building. Solana is I think Foundation is one of the most focused, most commercial, most agile foundation. They know where things are. They always focus on the right things. I have a lot of confidence in them. Ethereum, they're right over long term. It's still a good L1, but they're different. So at the moment, is crypto being incorporated by traditional world. At some point when the whole crypto blockchain industry is big enough, they'll come back and build their own ecosystem. It will become bigger. And for the developers in the room, don't give up. At the moment, it seems that everyone's talking about all this like centralized AI, Wall Street thing. It doesn't really have much to do with me. But whatever you're doing is important for blockchain. Whatever you're building is going to be meaningful. Have a bit more patient, because without you, there's no blockchain. Thank you.